Let me show you how to get this thing reinstalled. In this episode of Aston1936.com, I'm going to show you how to properly reinstall the rear center console assembly. There's more bits than this, but this is the main big piece, the rear brake light that you've all seen. Now, I've done a video on how to remove this, and I'll have that linked up here now. So getting it back in only takes probably about 5 minutes, and you only need a few tools to get it done. So let me show you which ones you'll need right now. We only need 2 tools to get the job done. We need a 7mm socket to do up a couple of the bolts that hold the seats in, the rear seats in, and you need a good old standard Phillips screwdriver size 2. So let's go over and get this thing back in the car. So we're in the car. Cameraman Rob and I are jammed in together again. You're going to get a little bonus footage. I never actually made a how to reinstall the center console video because it was pretty simple, but you're going to see me do it now. Basically, this part of the center console I've just got carefully pushed forward and engaged. I can see that screw holes are here, and these are just mounted with Phillips. And my only advice here is use one hand to keep some pressure to keep this seam as tight as possible at the front while you're snugging these up. Now these go into sort of a plastic composite, so don't go all Hulk on it. All right. Now, those of you that saw me take this piece out, you also saw me moaning and complaining that there was only 1 screw there from the damn previous owner. I've now got 2. And the way this goes in is it has to go underneath. Basically, we have to go back far enough so that we can pull it back to disengage. This little groove goes in this little slot. This little tongue goes underneath here. And we somehow have to be underneath the rear cover while we're doing that. And then we slide the whole thing forward until it engages all the way. So that's fit. It's nice. Now what we should see here is the 1 screw hole should be lined up, and we can take our screw, and now that's locked in place. Center console is done, so now we're going to turn around and we're going to start working on the big piece at the back with the center brake light. Here we are suffering for YouTube again. Hopefully this is worth a subscribe if you haven't already, so please smash that subscribe button. So cameraman Rob and I are contorting in the back, and this is a good time to remind you, this is clean your leather before you put it back in, because it's going to be way too far out of reach afterwards. And a reminder of how this thing works, there is a tongue here that is going to engage with that slot up there, and there is the wire we need to reconnect to this plug here. So that's the first challenge, is to get the wire done. There we go. So now I'm just going to sort of guide the thing in here by feel. And got my seats loose. And there we go. Pushed it back home. It's fitting nice and flush on both sides. And the 2 screws have lined up at the front here. So that's 2 Phillips screws. We'll just get one started loosely here first. And then I'm going to hold it down and snug them up. Now this is composite, so don't go all Herculean in here. All right, so that's essentially, that's the hardest step, and looks great. All the leather all cleaned and conditioned. So now let's move on to putting on the subwoofer grill cover. And probably a good idea before you move on to the next steps is to check that the actual rear brake light works by stepping on the brakes. Next piece is to fit the subwoofer cover, and it just basically slips in underneath and then tips down and kind of wedges in between the shoulders, and then you can see the holes line up. And these are just Phillips as well. Just loosely start that one. And then I'm pushing it up to get a nice fit against the top piece. And then again, nice snug. So the last piece in the series is the very first thing I took out in my whole project. So these two fir trees slip into these two holes here. Now, as you noticed in my first video, damn previous owners had broken these tabs by prying up in the wrong way. But essentially, you just wedge this part under the speaker grill and then bring this down until the fir trees engage. And push it down until it clicks into place. And voila! We've got the center portion done. So next up we need to get the seat backs in. And so these don't require any tools. And a reminder how this works, there is basically a metal slot here, and on the back of the seat there is a tab. So you're just going to raise up. So you're high, you can see them about a finger width high from where it normally sits. And slip it down hard. We'll do the same for the other side. There we go. So the next thing we have to do though is that there's the bolts that anchor these into place. So there's a bolt, a 7mm bolt, and a washer for each one. While I'm pushing down at the top, I'll snug the first one up. And then just repeat the process on the other side. Next up is we got to get the seat squabs back in. So to get the seat squabs in, they're just held down with Velcro. So here's a big strip that mates up with this piece. This piece had failed for me. You can see the gluey patch. I've actually gone and got a new piece of Velcro. I have the top part sitting there with the sticky sticking up. It'll bond up to that now when I put this in. And then we just slip this in and knock it down tight. Then you put this sort of filler in the back. There we go. All right, now we do the other side. I had the same thing going on with this one for the Velcro. The front patch is sort of let go, so I have a fresh piece here as well. And we'll slip this in. And grab our seat squab. And it goes. Well, there we go. Rear center console, rear seat assemblies, all back installed in the car. Wasn't too hard other than it's a lot of contorting in a very small space, but you won't be in here with a cameraman while you do it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Down here you're going to find a companion blog article link. I'll probably link where I got the Velcro, what seat leather cleaners I used and stuff like that. Up here you'll find the next video in the series. Not sure what it'll be, but I hope you enjoy it. If you'd like videos like this, please go ahead and subscribe. It helps the channel out. And as always, I'd love to hear your comments. What do you think of all the cleaned leather and how it looks? Please leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching.